What's going on in the world of weather. I've got to get right out to this tower cam shot. It's almost a macabre shot. This is looking down at the Christmas tree at Lake Eola from our downtown tower cam. You can kind of make it out, and I just want to sit on this for a while because I think it's such an interesting shot. It shows you that while it may seem like the fog has just encompassed you and is just sitting over top of you, from this perspective, you could see how the fog is on the move. And I just think that that's one of those cool things. I don't know. I know I'm a nerd, but maybe I am a nerd. At any rate, it is a dense fog kind of morning, my friends. Dense fog advisories are in effect for all of Central Florida. That runs until 10 o'clock this morning. That means that fog is thick. And while it may not be in every area, most of us are seeing a thick, widespread fog. So just be careful if you've got plans out and about. You know, I didn't get this set up before. Let me do this real fast. Stand by. Stand by. Maybe I didn't double click it. There it is. I want to pull up our fog tracker. All right, so this is our fog tracker. And what we're looking at here is, now that's just some garbage stuff coming into frame, but you can see those white shades at the beginning. Those white shades, that is the overall fog, and you can see just how widespread it is. I have no idea what these other colors are working in. It's kind of a weird image, but at any rate, fog tracker showing all those white shades. That is all of that widespread fog that is around Central Florida. Visibilities neighborhood by neighborhood are certainly limited. And on this map, remember, this is a look at all of the different measurement tools we have that are not satellite. The airports, they have, for airplanes coming and going, they've got measuring equipment. Orlando is down to what we call 0-0. It's a low IFR kind of day. Sanford, Leesburg, Ocala, quarter mile or less. So yeah, it is a pea soup kind of morning. Best to just slow it down. Don't drive like a putz. That goes on any day, but especially on a foggy day. And remember, use your low beam headlights only. High beams just do nothing but blind everybody else. So low beams only. All right. Kenneth, good morning to you. Beverly, Cindy, Tim, good morning. Tim says my commute. Yeah, your commute is in the house. I love it. Phyllis, good morning to you. Cheryl, how are ya? David, Marie, good morning, good morning. At least the temperatures are looking good. So this morning, yes, we've got the fog to deal with. Temperature-wise, we're sitting in the 60s, even some upper 50s in places like Palm Bay and New Smyrna Beach. So where do we go from here? Our 12-hour forecast, perhaps the most important or second most important graphic you'll see on Coffee Talk, revealing a beautiful day once we get rid of the morning fog. All right, so fog lifts around 9-10 o'clock. That's when those dense fog advisories are set to expire. Then we go to partly sunny, mostly sunny skies, gradually getting more and more of that sunshine. Yesterday made it to about 84 in Orlando. I think we do about the same thing today, 83, 84 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful one. Melanie says fog was spooky, then beautiful when I was driving into work. Sounds good to me. Dan, good morning. That's much better. Yeah, we'll get there. Stay home and have more coffee, Pat says. I can support that. I can certainly support that. I'm having lunch with a former WESH colleague, Mr. Matt Lapoli. I'm overly excited about it. I miss that guy. Cheryl, so where is rain? Well, Cheryl, for one thing, we're in the dry season, so it's not coming anytime today or tomorrow, really. Kind of a quiet setup. There's that front that we wanted to move our direction. It's not going to do it. Storm system off the coast of the Carolinas. Now, that storm system off the coast of the Carolinas does have my attention, because if that plays out the way that we think it will, that may indicate an LRC recycle. At any rate, though, we stay in a nice and warm register. Tim says, tell Matt we all miss him. Absolutely, I will. Max, good morning to you. Patty, good morning. Donna, good morning. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Let's do this. Give me a second. See, that's the advantage or disadvantage of coffee talk, is I don't plan this. So, all right. So, let's go to October. I want to go to like October 5th. Let me break you out that way. All right, so that's October 5th. I wanted to go to October 5th specifically. I'm looking for there. All right, so October 7th, there's going to be a little storm system off the coast of the Carolinas. October 8th. And if we just calculate... Yeah, so based on a 59-ish day cycle, that would make October 8th correlate to December 6th. So let's do this. I'm just doing some LRC research while we're sitting here together. And they don't actually have the map up. So December 6th. So let's go 1 day previous because that's what they do. Storm system, Texas, Louisiana. In the area. Let's compare the upper air charts. Yeah, it's not there yet. You see how... Well, you can't see it because I have to move it. So Sunday, December 5th, you see how there's an upper low, Baja California, upper low into Canada. We go back to October, and those are not the same places. So we have not looped it yet. We have not looped it yet. No, 8th, 9th. Now, I do want to... Give me 1 minute. No, we're not there yet. But the 10th and the 11th, when we start to see, like these three lining up, that's when we'll start to have a decent-ish idea. But we're not there yet. So anyway, LRC is not keyed in yet. So we're just kind of waiting to see how it plays out. But in the meantime, sorry, I went into analysis mode and bored all of y'all, so I apologize. But for now, we're just kind of stuck in this warm pattern. The next front, not really going to do much. As soon as it passes through, it goes stationary. We stay warm. But Friday into Saturday, first off, notice big storm system into the Great Lakes, putting down some snow up there. As that's playing out, this front does eventually make its impact to us. Late this week into the weekend, we're going to actually watch a frontal boundary that will make its impact on us. Just late this weekend. All right? Chris says close but no cigar. Yeah, we're not there yet. What's the visibility in Winterhaven? Nothing. At least at last check. Yeah, nothing. Tim says we like analysis mode. Well, it's one of those things that I was looking last night, and then I had the laptop in bed, and I noticed it was 11 o'clock. I'm like, that alarm is going to wake me early. So, kind of gave up on it, but I'm working. I will tell you this, though, Tim. I did get into analysis mode enough and chatted with Jeremy Nelson enough and reviewed the BSR enough that I think we have Christmas forecast. Do you want to see that? And then we'll... No, I'm going to make you wait a little bit. We're going to get to the Christmas forecast. We just have to get through our forecast for now. All right? We're going to get there. You got to stick around because Christmas forecast is forthcoming. Okay? Does it look like the fog is going to clear out earlier than yesterday? We have pictures at 11 o'clock today. So let's take a look at our Futurecast Fog Tracker, okay? For today. Give it a second to load the data. All right, so let's just go to 9 o'clock. And you can already see, and I'm going to bring it full screen because I know, Frank, you're just looking at the colors. Obviously, the darker grays, including your area, those are where the fog is thick. So that's 9 a.m. Remember, the problem is if you've got a lot of fog like we do, it's going to take a little bit longer to clear out. There's 10 a.m. Still pockets of fog, but thinning. There's 10:30. just about done. So 10:30, 11 o'clock is when I think that the fog is going to be cleared out. And of course, you can see visibilities are going to be fine thereafter. I do want to point out by 6 o'clock, look at the West Coast again. By 6 o'clock, do you see the west coast of Florida? Already that sea fog wanting to sneak in. 8 o'clock, already tracking sea fog out west. Now for us, I think we're going to be good. Although the model is trying to say a little bit of sea fog up here along the first coast and then sneaking down into Flagler and Volusia counties. So that'll be interesting. And then notice, of course, later on, we're going to watch those visibilities starting to drop. And again tonight, we'll watch that fog thicken. There's 5 a.m. tomorrow. Does it look as widespread? No. But it looks like again tonight into tomorrow morning, we are going to be tracking some of that fog around, all right? So just keep that in mind. We're in that time of year. And then add to the fact, and this is the muggy meter, add to the fact that each day we're kind of bringing up the dew points a little bit. In other words, we're bringing in more moisture. So there you go. Chris says, and I quote, "A day that shall live in infamy." Pearl Harbor Day, yes. Today, let me tell you something. 80 years ago today is Pearl Harbor Day. I never served my country. Chris, you're a veteran. So many are. So rapidly are we losing our greatest generation. And I was touched this morning, and let's pause weather for a second, because it's coffee talk, so there's a little bit of talk too. Let's take a minute. If you have a moment, and I understand we're busy in the morning, so I value your time. Harry Smith is a journalist with the Today Show. I have followed Harry's career since I got into television, since before he was with NBC. That is one of the greatest storytellers I have ever watched. He has no idea who I am. I tweet him every time I watch one of his stories and just say that what a treasure it is. I'm sure NBC and the Today Show will tweet out his story from today. Certainly they would have done it from yesterday. I didn't check. You must, I beg you, find 5 minutes and listen to today's story and to yesterday's story regarding Pearl Harbor Day. He spoke to several veterans of Pearl Harbor, several World War II veterans, but the one today touched on some of that new technology that they were using. It's fascinating. I had heard about it. If you're any kind of a history buff, you would have heard about it as well, but he found the guy. That was working radar on Pearl Harbor. Marcia says, Harry Smith is an American television journalist working for NBC News, MSNBC, and CNBC as a senior correspondent. He hosted the CBS News morning programs, The Early Show, and its predecessor, CBS This Morning. I can recall watching him there, and he was fantastic as a host. But the man is a natural-born storyteller in ways that I could only ever beg. If I have ever earned your trust to do my forecasting, I beg you to trust me on this as well. Alan, I served in the United States Navy for 30 years. Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for all of your service. Family members, sacrifices as those serve, to all of you. But let us also remember what happened 80 years ago today. And to the greatest generation that is so rapidly disappearing, let us never forget you. Let us always remember in our hearts the bravery, the sacrifice, and the change in the world that you made. So thank you to all of you, past and present, that have impacted, because freedom isn't free, and so many were lost during World War II. So many gave so much in that greatest generation, and of course after that. So thank you. All right. Let's chat a little bit about where we're at here in terms of our next couple of days, my friends. It's going to be warm, but I don't think we're going to be getting into records. Okay? 84 for our Wednesday, 83 for our Thursday, and gross 85 on Friday. I don't want to say it's gross, but, In other words, it's just getting toasty again. Not to record values. I think we'll be 3 degrees shy of the record, but I'm certainly going to be watching it. I will certainly watch closely. Brian says, please let us remember those who were serving in Pearl Harbor 80 years ago. I was honored to participate in the 40th anniversary remembrance as a United States Air Force law enforcement canine handler, and means who were there and heard their stories. Now there are very few. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Terry Gross says, Harry Smith it is. Thanks, Eric Burris and Coffee Talkers. Yes. So, a warm setup for us. What about Christmas? Do you want to know what's coming? Shall we give you the first warning? Betty, this might be the link. Oh, yes, that's the one. All right, I'm going to post it. Yes. I'm posting that link, Betty. Hold on. I'm posting that link. Link to Harry Smith's story. If I can, story from today. All right. Just got that link. Thank you, Betty. Wow. Unbelievable story. Okay, so we're warming. A couple of showers Wednesday and a Thursday as our next little front tries to approach us. Then it looks like this weekend into early next week, we do get a little bit of a cold front coming through, which will, of course, help to drop those temperatures just a little bit. All right, long-range forecast. Are you ready? I've been watching. I've been analyzing. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. All right, let's build to it. First off, our long-range forecast, I updated this kind of just looking at some things. So we're kind of looking warm for about the next 7 days. Like we may get a little weak front this weekend, but December 15th is when it looks like the pattern does want to shift. And we do want to get into a chillier pattern, okay? So December 15th, and then it looks like another one around December 18th. My brother says, teasing Christmas weather like a champ. Hey, I got to try, right? I got to try. It's my job. All right, so with that said, if we're starting to see fronts again mid-month, what does it mean for Christmas? Are you ready? This is the first call on our Christmas forecast. Decent cold front. Now, we showed that cold front yesterday, and we kind of talked about this, but now it's in graphical form. Now it's published. Cold front arrives around December 23rd. Could be the 22nd, could be the 24th, but it looks like we'll see some showers, maybe some thunder showers. I have to play it out and see. But it looks like we are going to be talking about a little bit of moisture moving into the area just before Christmas. For now, it looks like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day look nice. It looks like if there is some cool air with that cold front, it will be a cooler Christmas Eve and then kind of getting a little milder for Christmas Day. But at least they look nice. That's the idea. All right, so here we are, December 7th. I'm putting it in my calendar right now. Let's see. Christmas Day. Well, I put first call cool and sunny, and I put that on November 11th. That's the first call. All right, so we did that. We'll see if that plays out. I'm going to add to that official call. Front is clearing. Nice. Updated 12/7. So the first call on my Christmas forecast, cool and sunny, and I did that on November 22nd based on kind of trying to zero in on the LRC. All right. That was the first call. And then official call today. Front clearing. Nice. There's your Christmas forecast. So many of us, which also means, by the way, that we're just about to our New Year's forecast. I love this time of year. because now is when we're starting. And this, by the way, this long-range forecast for Christmas is using the BSR, and I'm trying to find the correlations between the BSR and the LRC. We're trying to find that. It's heavy on the BSR, but there's like a teeny bit of it that's running LRC, just trying to zero in on it. We're not there yet. That first call that I made, weeks ago, that's LRC based. But we're not quite there yet. But this is the time of year where we're going to zero it in. And then, of course, once that happens, we can start issuing our monthly forecasts, which I think we had a lot of great success with the monthly forecasts last year. Trina, we're going to a cabin in the Smoky Mountains for the week of Christmas, hoping for some snow. Well, that'll be interesting to see. Where are we there? Yeah, I mean, there's a storm system. We can come back to that later. There's a storm system that'll be moving through. That cold front arrives around the 23rd part. That we'll have a storm system with it, so you may be in luck. Shall we detail all of this? Give me a few seconds here, okay? All right, so let's do that. So that's the long-range forecast. Let's put it all together using the BSR, all right? So first and foremost, what you are looking at right now, that's a storm system in North Florida. Valid. That's Thursday, Friday of this week. So I'm curious, let's look. Is there a storm system on the models Thursday, Friday this week? Stand by. All right, here's the GFS, raw GF. It's just raw GFS. Again, Coffee Talk, we use the pretty graphics sometimes. We just throw up raw model data other times. So that's the raw GFS, initialized 6Z, that's the most recent run, valid, that's 9Z today, that's this morning. So what is that? What were we looking at on the BSR? That was late this week, Gulf Storm System. Let's just look and see. Right there. Yeah, so it looks like it's running a little behind. A couple of days behind, but again, it's plus or minus. Okay, interesting. Let's continue on, shall we? We're just looking for kind of big influencers in our area. Looks like some moisture moving our direction about the 12th. So that would be Sunday. Oh, you know what? That first one, I missed that. Hold on a second. That was Friday. So I missed that. Let's go back. I'm sorry. So that's Friday. There is a little moisture in the northern Gulf there. That's Friday. You see that low near Texas, that 1,000 low near Texas. It's kind of a little further to the north, but it's there. All right, I was a little off. My bad, everybody. And then we go to Sunday. And there's kind of a front, a weakish front with some stormish weather. Let me move the model. Saturday, there's the front. Sunday, a little cooler, not anything crazy. Looks like by... Now, interestingly enough, the model's not really the 15th, the 16th. It's not really going bonkers on any kind of a front, the 15th or the 16th. Whereas the BSR absolutely is. Let me just show you. Yeah, I mean, that's the 15th right there. That's a pretty decent front signature, right? Like, it looks like it to me. And that looks like it's turning into a cool pattern. That's like the 17th into the 18th. Is there any cooler air on the 17th into the 18th? Let's look. That's the 17th. Don't really see anything there. Yeah, model's not really picking up on it. Now, there's that 23rd. You can see there's a front right there on the 23rd. And that's going to line up directly with the BSR eventually here. There's the front right there. No big deal. There's the 23rd, though, front. Right there. Right there. Now, that is a big, clear push of cold air. That's the 23rd. That's the best signal. So, even if the models are not indicating anything up to the 23rd, the other fronts that we've been watching, let me just play through and show you, like, that's not a clean signal of a front. That's not a clean signal of a front. That's a little cleaner, but it's not. That's not a very, that's like a decent one there. The 18th. So the 18th, let's go back to the model around the 18th. Interesting that it's not picking up because the 18th actually does. That's the 18th. It does look like a pretty decent signal of a front. But the model's not really showing it. Like it's kind of up here, but it's not showing it pushing south. What about the European? Let me just... Oh, wrong model run. Hold on, I got to go to the full. That's the 12th. There's a cold front. Interesting little low here. Do you see that around the 17th? And then there's, yeah, and then there would be the next front. Okay, so the European's picking up on it. The GFS is not. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Because that signal there around the 18th, that's a pretty decent cold front. I mean, if you're asking me. And then that's another weakish front. But the one coming in before Christmas, that's as clear as day. Like, that's a cold front. That's a very clean cold front signature. So, you know, for what it's worth, the confidence of that is relatively high, which I'm fine with. So I know it's a little early, but at least the signature for Christmas week is looking pretty clean. It's not looking like it's up to interpretation. It's a pretty clean signature. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. Everything leading up to that is a little iffy. So, you know, you got to know where your confidence is and where it isn't. Yeah. Cooler weather would be nice. I think we'll get that. You know, the signature looks there. Leading up to it, you know, the next couple of weeks, they're showing little fronts, but it's not a clear signature. You know, like it's showing the fronts up there in the BSR, but they're small. They're not, you know, they're not dynamic. And so because of that, the confidence goes down. But that frontal boundary moving in around the 23rd, right? I mean, that's as clear as day. You know, that's as clear as day. And then it pushes through. Oh, it looped back. Sorry. That's as far out as it goes. But yeah, like that image right there. Let me just compare. That's Christmas Eve. High pressure building in, cool air diving in. Yeah, that looks good. And then afterward, just to go even longer range, like there's another front, but that one doesn't look as impressive. That front, what you're looking at is 12Z on that's the day after Christmas. So that's Sunday, December 26th. Not an impressive cold front. Now, I will point out, though, look up into the Great Lakes. Like, that's impressive. You know, there's going to be a pretty good little storm system up there. Talk about lake effect snow. Sunday the 26th into the 27th. Looks like a little Alberta clipper. For us, though, that old front south of us would probably indicate some showers, especially for South Florida after Christmas. But high pressure building in at least would be a pretty nice thing for us. So shower chances are going to rise afterward. But yeah. So that's what we're looking at, my friends. Kind of, at least Christmas week looks to be a pretty clear signal. I like that. I'm okay with that. What do you think? David, temps during Christmas week. I would say that the beginning of the week we would be warming. That December 23rd, as it moves through, we'll probably get some showers, and then we'll probably drop. Christmas Eve may be cool. Maybe even Christmas Day will be cool, but it's looking nice. But again, we're kind of in this pattern where these fronts are not loving coming down. So until then, I don't even know. Like, for example, we labeled then cold. I'm going to change that to storm system front. I'm going to take out the then cold because it's not a very clear signal. You know, these cold fronts are approaching, but are they making it all the way in? That one's a tough one. Yeah. But the Christmas week front looks to be the best of the lot. So at least there's that. Yvette says you are mastering your craft. So interesting. Thank you. Listen, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But I'm doing the best I can. What is the weather going to be in Texas over the Christmas holidays? That is where I'm headed. Let's look. I mean, so that's... It looks to be pretty cool in Texas. Sunny and cool is what it looks like. Yeah, so that's Christmas Eve. High pressure building in. So yeah, it looks sunny and cool. Yeah, looks sunny and cool out in Texas. That's Christmas Eve. Give me 1 minute here. Let me just try and get Christmas Day. Hold on a second. Let me turn this around a little bit. Stand by, people. Hold on. Okay. So that's Christmas Day. All right. So high pressure building in. Yeah. All right. So it's quiet for us, but then there's that next storm system. So it depends where in Texas you are, but you can see there is that storm system over Texas that'll be moving through and lifting up. Yeah. So if we go back, Christmas Eve is looking nice. Okay. For Texas. Christmas Day, there's going to be a little storm system moving through. And then after, you get better. All right? And for those that were asking, like, I forget who was asking about the Smokies, but like right there, that is... Hold on. That's the 22nd. So I forget who was traveling to the Smokies, but whoever it was, around the 22nd, that storm system, remember I was telling you that cold front that's moving through our area? Well, during that, the 22nd into the 23rd, that storm system is going to be working into the northeastern United States, and as such, you may get a little bit of snowfall through the Smokies. Trina, Tennessee, yeah, Gatlinburg, yeah, it looks like you may get some snow maybe on the backside of that. You see that little trough there. So the 22nd into the 23rd. But I will also say that the 22nd, 23rd into the 24th, as that storm system moves into the northeast United States, we could be talking about some travel impacts there. Like right there, that's the 23rd. We could be talking about some travel impacts to the Northeast Corridor. So for what it's worth, I know this is way out there, and understand, people, like I need to make sure you understand this is still subject to change. We're doing the best we can to forecast this sort of stuff, but this all is subject to change. You know, it is. But it looks like that frontal boundary and storm system around the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, as it moves through the nation's midsection, we're going to get some snow. Certainly as that moves into the northeast, it'll be something interesting. And yeah, all of that to say that for us, we're just tracking that storm system, the 23rd, but it looks nice for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. All right? This is a wonderful piece that Harry Smith did. I encourage everyone to see it. It's very moving, Debbie says. Yes. Yes. I wouldn't lead you astray. I promise you. All right, so it looks like we may have a nice setup for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. In terms of us this week, though, we do have a nice setup. Just the temperatures are going to be warming a little bit. 83, 84 degrees for today and tomorrow. And then by about Monday, we'll drop to about 77, all right? Any questions, comments, concerns? Does anybody have anything? Brian, I will be in Sparta, Tennessee on the 22nd. It would be cool to have some light snow headed down to Georgia on the 23rd. Just be safe, buddy. Stephanie says, I understand. You know, and it's... Listen, I'm trying. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some goods and some bads with the long range stuff. But as long as you understand it, as long as you know that there are some limitations to it, and we do the best we can, it's like the 7-day forecast. And this is how I explained it to my old boss. She said, well, what if you get it wrong? And I said, what if we get the 7-day wrong? We're still trying. It's our job to try, right? So we'll do the best we can. And we'll keep it going. Speaking of forecasting, had a great rocket launch this morning. Thursday, there is yet another rocket launch. 80% chance of good weather. That booster recovery forecast not looking as great, though. All right? All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I am off of work, so you're not getting me on the news. As long as I stay out of trouble. Be good. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out. I've got to figure out something behind. Anybody crafty want to help me with an eye of design? Want to help me come up with something behind me? I don't know. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so very much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you guys and gals tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, and I'll be tweeting